Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders seeing what's current. I just wanted to do a general topic. It's not a lot of news going on besides them saying that Diddy's not going to be doing his bail. I know that, and the judge knows that. He's going to give his decision next week. So we understand that he's not going to get bail yet. The judge didn't decide. So anyway, I just wanted it just been kicking around in my mind. I don't know, for the past 30 years, maybe. Maybe longer. I don't know, but why haven't blacks been represented in history as much? I mean, I watched a beautiful documentary by Ken Burns about Leonardo da Vinci, and he's one of the great figureheads of the Renaissance movement. Um, Maybe championed only by Michelangelo with his masterpiece, the David. And he was he was one of the first artists, or one of the only artists, to engrave his name on his work to show that he did the actual work. And of course he did the Sistine Chapel, the ceiling. But why is there Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, and was it Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and hold on, I have to check something. Oh boy, that's not good. That's it. Donatello. They didn't really talk about Donatello too much, but I forgot about the name Donatello. But why aren't there African names that we should know about? Are they relegated? Is it really just racism? Do we have to blame the white man? Oh, the white man took away our history. He took away our lessons. He took everything. Is that where we have to go? Is that the route we have to take? Blame the white man? Now, of course, in certain circumstances, that is true. It was the white man. You have to blame him for a great deal of things. But for the majority of things, I don't think you can blame the white man. You can't blame, or the white woman, or what do you want to say, the white race, or lighter races, Hispanic races, yellow races, red people. It's a difference. It feels like it's a difference. To me, it appears to be a hoodwinked, run amok, led astray, bamboozled kind of way of looking at things. It seems like the black man and the black woman were just completely flipped over. Flipped out. And the amazing thing is, African Americans are the ones that are taking the credit now. I looked in a few texts. They said the activists, of course, you already know, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. Even if they say Malcolm X, they may not even say Malcolm X, but they definitely say Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They will definitely say his name. They'll say Elijah McCoy, he's one of the inventors. You'll say the writers, Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison, James Baldwin. And then there's the sports figures. There's Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays. There's Josh Gibson. There's Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. Music, of course, Michael Jackson, Prince. I mean, it goes on. You can go on and on and on. Aretha Franklin, Jimi Hendrix, and that's just to name a few. I'll be here all day if I wanted to say every other person that made some kind of difference or contribution to the worlds of music or activism or anything like that, or politics. I mean, of course, former President Barack Obama. You can say, well, he's really half white, and you can say he's mixed. Is he black? Whatever is the question. Whatever. But my whole question is, why haven't they been represented? I don't consider myself black. I consider myself a man of color who happens to live in America. That's why I say them, black people. I distance myself from being black, because that would imply tribalism or collectivism. And I'm not a subscriber of either of those doctrines or those ideals. But I am curious. I'm very curious. It just seems very interesting to me. You have Newton, you have Einstein, you have all these, very brilliant, people of just a lighter hue in their skin color, and it just seems to me it's just like, why is that? What happened? Where did we go wrong? I say that jokingly. I don't mean seriously. But where did the black people, where did they go wrong? What happened? Because they're in the Bible, they're in the Holy Scrolls that govern the world. There's about 8 billion people on this planet, on this rock, and about 5 to 6 billion of them have faith in some kind of deity. Now, I'm an atheist. I believe in no deities. They do not exist. Not one exists. Any of them. None of them. So they value, the sacred scrolls, the Talmud, the Torah, the Bible, of course, and the Quran and Hadith. All those different scrolls have been through centuries, through millennia, all the way back, to when these first ideas were discussed, before there was even, means of writing it down. They were discussed, over campfire and not campfire, but in caves and just outside the caves, because they learned that if you put the fire in the cave, then they'll suffocate. So they figured that out. But yeah, I'm just curious. It just makes me wonder. What was it? What was the turning point? What was the point where say, you know what? White man got this. Yellow man got this. Red man got this. Brown man got this. Blacks, y'all just coming up short. I don't know. Like I've seen, I didn't see the others, but there are over 1,000 billionaires in the world. There's about 17 current black billionaires. That should tell you something. That should say something about you for business wise, for entrepreneurs. And what is it? Sports and entertainment. Rihanna, Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Tyler Perry. Is this a surprise? Is this something that was given? I have to wonder about all that, because it just struck me. It was just like it's been in my mind for a long time, but it just struck me again over the head. It was just like, why are there no representation of blacks throughout history, and even in today's history? There have been strides and different runs towards being represented in sciences. We have that. We have the arts. We have that they have that covered. The blacks covered, music especially. But what about paintings? What about sculpture? Jean-Michel Basquiat comes to mind. Romain Bearden comes to mind. Jacob Lawrence comes to mind for representational art, for physical and 3D art and paintings and things of that nature. That all comes to mind. But beyond that, it's like, what the hell? I don't understand. It's a weird space to be in. Like nobody even talks about that. They just want to gripe and well, the white man took our land, and white man he came over and took us. No, do for self. That's the best agenda. Do it for yourself. Do you. That's why I think Jay-Z even said that in the line. He said, "At my arraignment, I'm screaming, all this blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even." Like, that's probably the best way. I mean, I'm doing this is entertainment, I guess. I'm a man of color. I mean, always going to be look like, oh, he's a black. Oh, he's a black man. No, I'm a man of color who happens to live in America. That's the facts. I don't subscribe to tribes. And that's another thing too. The American Indian, or the Indian American, I don't know what it is. Yeah, the American Indian. The was that racist? Not the dot head. Is that racist? I kid. It's jokes. But no, seriously, why were they not represented? they just been decimated. It seems like they had genocide and they were slaughtered. But what was their humanity? Was it just with feathers and going hey, like that? Didn't they have a contribution? Didn't they have different ways of representing themselves? That's the question I have. And that's the thing too, because they should be represented as individuals, not tribes. They're not tribal Americans. They're Americans. And everybody that was born in this country is a Native American. And there are really no natives unless you live in the western part of Africa. That's the only place of native origin that you can claim. Everybody else, you settled somewhere else. This is the facts. And I learned that people in Africa journeyed north in like the early stages, very early stages of humanity, like hundreds of thousands, like 100,000 years ago. And they settled in Europe, and they settled in the different European areas. And then they came back. They actually came back and settled in certain other areas in Africa. I learned that. I thought they just went from Africa and then just stayed in Europe, but no, they came back. They actually some factions, some pieces of the different population actually came back. So, but you know who does? Who doesn't come? Doesn't have to come back, but he always comes back with the good stuff. His name is Baja Jackson. Baja Jackson has a great YouTube page. I want you to go there, check him out. It's BEEJACKSON 5478. Baja Jackson or B Jackson. If you're looking forward to discussions of sardines on the grill, fried chicken, near beer or non-alcoholic beer, and female strippers, if you like any and all of that, make sure you check his page out on YouTube. Get his subscriptions up. Baja Jackson on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. All right. So I think, the black people really just got hoodwinked, led astray, bamboozled. Like they really did. They didn't have an idea of what was supposed to be, I guess. I don't know, but it's a weird way, because it's like this is history. And African Americans have contributed a lot to history. There are so many figures, so many names I could go off of. Fannie Lou Hamer, Mary McLeod Bethune, Ralph Bunchy. There's just so many different people that could, Rosa Parks. I mean, just the obvious one we usually talk about, and sports figures. I mean, just shut up. Just arts, and culture, music. Just shut up. You can't even. I mean, you talk about them too much. It's like from the blues to gospel to jazz to rock and roll to soul to parts of disco, hip hop, rap. All this is from the minds of people with darker hues. People with their minds with darker hues. Just because they're very creative. They are. The black race is very creative, very thoughtful, and should be lauded for their gifts and punished for their misdirection as well. But one thing I want to say about this also, representation is why people like to say, like Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans said, he said he was talking about how women or men wearing dresses in movies and stuff like that. He was like, so what? And who cares? It's like you don't say Dustin Hoffman, in Tootsie, he's wearing a dress, okay. And then Robin Williams wore a dress, and the late great Robin Williams, he wore a dress in Miss Doubtfire. And it's like you only say it to black people. Well, in their history, it's a little different. I don't recall. Now, somebody can correct me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. but I can only recall photographs of white men with their hands in the air pointing to another black man who was shot, stabbed, set on fire, castrated, and hung up into a tree. That's what I know. I know that for a fact. And I want to know how many pictures are there available of black men standing around a white man's corpse, castrated, set ablaze, shot, stabbed, and hanging from a tree. I want to know how many of those exist. Hey, you found me. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Luana? I'm not gonna hit you up for my Cash App. Don't worry. I'm not. I know you're on your own, banking thing. You found me. Yes, you did. Thank you for that. I don't even realize if I shared it with you or not. I can't even remember. But you found me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm doing just a quick just exploration of my mind. I usually do news topics and hip hop. That's what I usually do. But I just had this thought in my head. Why aren't blacks fully represented in history? What was the turning point? What was the point where blacks, controlled, most of, if not everything in Africa? And then, the people explored other locations across the world, and they returned to Africa, and then they kind of, I think they turned against. They had wars, there was rebellions and things of that nature, and everything just got twisted. And the white man was like, "Look, hey, if y'all don't want to get this together, we'll start this all over. We can do this well." And through thousands of years, through millennia, it came down to the point where people were, um, you know, it, I mean, like a lot of people like to say that. Like people say that, because of the white man started slavery. No, 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 no. Black man started slavery thousands of years before white man even conceived of the notion. The black man started slavery in different locations in Africa, not just Egypt, but in Ethiopia and different things like that. There's different stories that go back further than some people would like to claim. But the white man did not start slavery; he perfected it. But no, seriously. But he took it to another level, and that's why the word nigger is an objective term. It's not even like an offensive term. It's really it's like a misnomer or a mispronounced word. It's supposed to be Niger or Niger, but they were like, oh, nigger. Okay, nigger. And they were like serious. They were like, okay, I read Niger. It looks like nigger to me. So it's nigger. But then it got, you got, you know, tossed and turned around to being something, vicious and mean and ugly and nasty and disgusting. And that's the sad part, because I use nigger every day. I use it like the late great Paul Mooney said. I use nigger every day. When I wake up in the morning, I use it nigger, 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 nigger. Keeps my teeth white. So, that's what it's like. So everybody in rebroadcast land, check out Vicky Truselli on vocal.media. She's a friend of mine. We found each other on what was it? It was Facebook Messenger, I think, or something like that. We were first on there. I have to give her credit, so I appreciate it. She found me. I'm glad that she found me. She's good people. She's a great poet, excellent poet. I don't agree with her most of the time. Like 98% of the time, I don't agree with her, but she has such great, words she expresses, that I have to give her credit. And I always share. I say I shared sometimes before I even read it, where I read the whole thing and I'm like, can't really get down with that. Can't really side with that. But it was spoken, and it was worded well. So I have to give it credit. So I do share it with my other people. Okay, thank you, Vic. Thank you. I call her Luana. On here it says Vicky Truselli, but her middle name is Luana. So I don't know if what she wants me to call her on here on my show. I say Luana. She says, "I like your topic today. It resonates. Yes, it definitely resonates with me. But you know what else resonates with me? Shooting people in video games. Now that was a transition. No, Dot Focus. He has a whole gaming service with twitch.tv, but his YouTube channel needs to have more subscribers, get more subscribers up. Vicky Luana, either one. Okay, good to go. But he needs to have more subscribers. Let me see what I can do here. And it's Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS. Let me see, DOT one underscore. So definitely check him out. I'm putting him in the live chat right now. Bear with me. He's got he's got sniper rifles. He's got traditional rifles. He fires them. He shoots down the bad guys. It's all in fun. It's not like he's going to shoot up a school or a library or a synagogue or a mosque or a church or a shopping mall or a grocery store or so many other places that a gay disco tech. Um, a party, what is that? What was that in Las Vegas? It was this guy just had the bump stock. That's all I can remember. It was at some kind of concert. That's what it was, a concert. So he's not going to do that. I can't see that happening in his future. He wants to keep that on the screen, on the different things like that, not out there in the world. So salute to Dot Focus and definitely champion his cause. All right, my cause, my idea right now is all about why is the black man, the black man, the black woman, black people, why do they not have the ability? Why did they did not have their ancestors? Why didn't their ancestors have the ability to be free in their mind? Like, of course they were in bondage, of course they were, in chains and stuff like that, but the freedom of their mind, like, I mean, it shows down to especially in America, especially in the United States. I think, and I'm not trying to be very partial, I'm not trying to be subjective, I'm not trying to be objective as hell. The African American is the most, amazing experiment in all of history, because they were supposed to be locked down forever. They were supposed to be in bondage forever, for all time. The Civil War, America's bloodiest war, over 600,000 men and some women even have gone, were killed, and about 1 million were butchered or wounded in some way. And that's what it took. I mean, look what happened to England. England, they're like, oh no, we don't have to have a civil war. We can just have a few laws passed and say that we don't have to have the slavery anymore. They don't have to be in bondage. Like, they didn't even have a civil war. They just stopped it. They just said, we're not having slavery anymore. And a lot of different countries are like that. Canada, I think, had slavery a very short time. And then they were like, nah, let's not do this. And then I think, in certain other countries in South America, they're like, yeah, let's not do this anymore. Let's stop. But America was like, no, 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 this is going to have to be by blood. Somebody's going to have to die over this. This is too much. We're opening up a can of worms if we let them free. And then after Civil War, you had the Jim Crow laws, and they spoke to the idea that blacks were inferior, that they were inhuman, they were subhuman, that they okay. I'm gonna try to get into this as well. I may have to extend this show. I was gonna do an hour. I might have to do 2 hours, but we'll see if it goes. Let's see if it goes. I was gonna say that the Jim Crow laws I agree with some of the Jim Crow laws, but not in the context of the Jim Crow law. I believe that should be segregated counters, segregated restaurants, segregated schools. All of that there should be segregated everything except government. The government shouldn't be segregated. Like the troops, like the military, shouldn't be segregated. The law system shouldn't be segregated. Police officers shouldn't be segregated. Everything government should not be segregated. Private, though, should be segregated. And then we'll see which is the greatest, has the greatest advantages and says, what will you have to go here? And I say them with private institutions, private companies, like Walmart. What if you just said tomorrow only whites can go to Walmart? We'll see how well that goes over. See how many billions of dollars they'll lose if they just said only white people could go to Walmart. Wizard's in the building. Salute to Wizard. He says, here go another 2-minute show. My boy be logging off quick. The truth about African Americans will always be whitewashed. If it wasn't for the civil rights movements, women in America will be getting treated like Muslim women. Okay. Nothing segregated. OMG, I'm mixed DNA. So where do me and my kids sit? That's what I'm saying. That's why it's not. I'm not. That's why I said I am for aspects of Jim Crow laws, but not in the context. Not in context. Because what about people that are black and white? What about people that are red and yellow? What do you do with them? I mean, you can only half of me can go into this bar, and the other half can only go into this other bar. That's why it doesn't make any sense, but it shouldn't be forced. See, there should be no laws against that. It should only be by individuals deciding and making ideas and saying that, I want to have my only black, saloon over here, and you have your only white saloon over here. Like, that's how it should go. But we'll see. But we'll see how much money we'll both make. See how much money and how much patronage and how much just the money, just your bottom line. How much your bottom line would be, and then look at the segregated or the integrated saloon or the integrated restaurant they're making millions of dollars or a company is making billions of dollars while the segregated companies are. Oh, I wonder why. I'm excluding a whole group of other people that I could be making business with. I wonder why I'm not making that much money. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Wizard says, but the question is, do we really want to go back to Africa? Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. Sam Cook says Indian rights movement. I think you're thinking about. Are you talking about AIM, American Indian Movement? It's to make any different demographics in America now. Exactly. We're all mutts. Even the darkest people in the country are mutts. I mean, they might have, the blood could have been washed down to another darker person and another darker person and another darker person, and they're still dark. But their great grandmother was white. Same thing the other way around. Their great grandmother could have been black, but he's white as snow. His great grandmother looked like soot. She looked like ebony. She looked like jet. She was black. But he's white as, ivory. That's all I'm saying. But let me give it. But the question is, do we really want to go back? See, he's saying we. I'm not saying we. And black people, can do whatever the hell they want to do. If they want to go back to Africa, go back to Africa. It seems like it's working all right for Stevie Wonder. I think he went back. He's in Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. Lawana says, I used to work with the American Indian movement in the 90s. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And there is sad in certain circumstances as the blacks, because they have names. There's too many names. What do blacks have? They have nigger, they have Negro, they have colored, they have black, they have African American, they have foundational Black American. It's too many names. What do the red people have? They have red, they have Indian, they have Native American, they have indigenous people, they have tribal Americans. It's too many names. It's like we just have to guess who we are. or what other people are. Let me get. This is no guesswork. My main man Peng has assembled a great website and great flavor as far as the blueberry is concerned. Hold on. Let me make sure I get it right. I'm getting it together right now. You can go to this website. Make sure you go. He's got fitness gear. He's got sea moss infused uh, fruits. I've tried the blueberry; it's excellent. But you can also sample the soursop, the mango, the elderberry, the pineapple. He has all these different flavors. Like I said, I can attest to only one, and it's an excellent one. It's great. So I appreciate you. And if you put in SKYLER 10 for a 10% discount for all your purchases. Make sure you let him know the goofy guy Sky Saunders sent you. Thank you very much. That'll help us both out tremendously. Yo, my main man King, he's got the wrench on him. He's feeling himself. Pause. Salute to you, sir. All right, so definitely check out lifestrongapparel.com. Definitely check out Dot Focus. Definitely check out Baha Jackson. I'm just shorten this. I'm not even gonna go that long, but I just wanted to at least address this. If I get 10 people in here within the next 3 minutes, I'll stay on. But I'm not gonna, just sit back and just be like, well, if only I could tell you something. Now, I'm not gonna do that. All I want to know is why. Why haven't blacks been represented? Why is there? And this, I don't want to say, oh, there should be a black Leonardo da Vinci. There should be a black Michelangelo. This should just be whoever it is. Like we have, are they the ones now? Or could they be the blacks? The late great Michael Jackson. What was he? I mean, he was African American. He was foundational Black American, born in this country. Was of a darker skin. He was of a darker hue. He lightened himself up a little bit, but that was for the vitiligo. Okay. we took it all. We took all. We took the vitiligo. We took the noses. We took the kids twice. It was still Michael. He made Thriller. He made Off the Wall. Like it's like, what are you gonna do? Grand Theft Auto Kingpin, yo. Welcome to this broadcast. So I appreciate it. So if I have 9 more people coming in here, I will stay on the line. But I'll be getting off in about a minute. I don't think there's gonna be 9 people that's gonna come through in a minute. So, but I just wanted to get this out here. Have my daily. This is my daily bread. This is my devotion, in terms of what the believers think of it. My bad. I'm liked and loaded. Now you're good. Michael had more removable parts than Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, well, that's what it seems to be. That's what it seems to be. Well, actually, I'll go to 35 because it's actually at 34 on my counter. I was going by my counter. I'll go to 35. Is it 20 for promotion? Yeah, it is 20. It is 20 for promotion. Sure. We'll start off with 20. I can work with you. $20. What are you promoting, Grand Theft Auto? In my Cash App. Did you get my comment? Which comment was that, Wizard? The Michael Jackson one, the Michael had removable parts, then Mr. Potato Head, that's the last thing I seen from you. Oh, I see it now. I see it. I got you. I was so pro-black and studying Pan-African history until I got robbed by my own black brothers. Now I can care less. That's the reality. I am of the school of Ayn Rand. She preaches in her work selfishness and do for self, initiatives and being completely immersed in your own selfish ways. And that doesn't mean that you sacrifice others to yourself, and doesn't also mean that you should be selfless and sacrifice yourself to others. It just means that you should be egoistic and understand who you are, what you are, and what you're about. Essentially, those are my own words, and that's not her words, but that's the essential of that. So I might go a little longer. I'm feeling myself. I don't know. Pause. I got 5 people in here, 3 likes. Lawana's in here. She's great. She found me. I don't remember ever sharing this page. I don't know how she got me. We have to talk about it later. But I'm glad she did. She's good people. She's good people. We argue and we fuss and stuff a lot, and we have a mutual, disdain for the president elect. I'm not even going to say his name, but we have a mutual disdain for him. So that's one thing we have an understanding about. But yeah, I read your comment, Wizard. I got your comment. You're so pro-black, you can care less now. I got you. But yeah. So, I mean, just over the years, like nobody ever talks. I remember in high school, they're like, okay, it's a Harlem Renaissance. It's like a week long, discussion. County Cullen, Langston Hughes, and Arne Bontemps. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then it's over by the time March comes, it's over. So it's like, what was even that? Why would you even have a unit? Why don't you just have a black author? I don't remember having any black authors that I read. I read Fitzgerald. I read Hawthorne. I read Salinger. I read all the authors of the Aeneid, the Iliad, the Odyssey, and different things like that. Here we go, Wizard. I think the black community are hypocrites. Okay, we only come together when outsiders kill us, but when we kill each other, everyone is quiet. Facts. He's claiming blacks still though. He was dissing himself in the previous comment, but he's saying we. He put the big W in there, the we. But he's spitting facts. Nobody wants to talk about that either. No one wants to talk about how blacks kill themselves. They kill themselves. It's not the white man going through Chicago, Illinois, in different neighborhoods, Lamron and all that. No. That's black on black. Can't blame the white man for that. We all mentally ill. Well, I'm mentally ill. I can't say we all are. I think people are, just fine. Otherwise, I am mentally ill. I have bipolar disorder. If you want to even call it a black community, because we don't own anything like banking, hospital, we don't put our money together to invest in our neighborhoods and uplift our youth. Facts. And that's why I'm glad you said community. You said black community. There's no such thing as a black community. There's only black neighborhoods. Everything else is owned by somebody outside. Chief started all that by making drill rap music, man. No. It was way before Chief Keef. We're going back into the 1960s. The Black Disciples and different gangs of that nature. Black Disciples, started, what was supposed to be like the Crips, was supposed to be like the Bloods, have such a sense of unity and structure, and have like a militant kind of offshoot of the Black Panther Party and the Muslims and the black what they call it? They call them the the FOI, the Fruits of Islam. I know, but I'm trying to think what are they called. Nation of Islam, NOI, and Nation of Islam. They're like offshoots, but they turned very violent, very nasty, and terrible over the years. And people want to blame that on the white man. If the white man didn't introduce, crack into our neighborhoods, we wouldn't have been able. First of all, crack was created by a black man, Freeway Ricky Ross. He was making $3 million a day selling crack to his own people. And he went and did time. Now he's out and he's trying to make his life better, which is good. He's not being a politician like Shine, like Moses Barrow. Hell no, everybody. King is going seriously. We really would have to look at the statistics. I'm pretty sure the murder rate went up once drill rap became mainstream. I don't, because and then what are you going to say now? They fell. I mean, they went up. They were up. I have to admit, they were up like in 12 to 14 to maybe even up to 17. But they've since tapered off the amount of deaths, and even the amount of deaths prior to what drill rap was. Drill rap came out in like 2009 to 2012, and then it blew up around that time. In 2012, it was mainstream, but it was really starting in like 08 and 09, maybe even before. But like Mr. Ye West said last year, Chicago had over 600 caskets. He said that in 2007. Okay, so Freeway Rick Ross did not own a plane. The CIA gave him the powder and he turned it into something else once you learn about the recipe. Yeah. Facts. This is facts, but it's not. See, this is the thing, though. This is about the government. This isn't the white man. The white man is part of the government. He runs the government, still runs it. He ran the government when Obama was president. It's cute when you say, like, oh, the black man's in power. Black man's in charge. He's running the world. That was cute. He was just a chump in the front. He didn't have much power. He had to deal with, the Senate and Congress, which are predominantly white men. So let's not kid ourselves. But yeah, so there's that triangle. I'm gonna try to say it. I'm gonna try to do this right. I always mix it up and mess it up, but the Contra, the Iran Contra, it was like, okay, you start with Iran. Iran started it, right? You get the money goes down to South America, right? Money goes down to South America. The South America money turns into drugs. The drugs go up, okay? The drugs go up to America. And then it all starts over again. The money gets funneled out into different areas and it goes back to Iran. So it was like a triangle. It goes Iran, South America, Colombia, Peru, and stuff like that. All the cocaine producers, they all go, and then it turns into money, and turns into weapons, turns into drugs, and it all gets funneled up into America. And then you have to have certain statutes and different things. You have to have the DEA, which is one of the most evil, vicious organizations ever devised, drug enforcement agency. They locked up tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of men of color on the streets of America, just because they were trying to make a better living for themselves. Just trying to make, they said, hey, look, shoot, my teacher is making $20,000 a year, $19,000 a year. I'm making $20,000 in a week. Are you like? I mean, just think about that. Just consider that. Consider that reality. Like, your teacher's making $19,500 a year, $19,500 a year. You're making $19,500 in a few weeks, in like 2 weeks. You go to the Burger King or the McDonald's, you're getting paid $2 an hour to flip burgers and dust up, dust the sills and clean up the floors. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's it's so backwards and so weird. But I got people talking. XXXTentacion talked about how music affects certain chakras in your body. And I believe it because certain songs make me sad, so I can only imagine what drill rap does to the untrained man. Maybe, but I don't want to blame an art form on people being killed. I don't want to do that. I would never, say that an art form is the reason why people getting laid out in the streets. Rick Ross should cut the check to the freeway. Rick Ross. He might have done that on the slide. He might have done that quietly. He hasn't done that publicly. They still have a feud against each other because Ricky Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross, was feeling some type of way. He's not mind about Freeway because Freeway took his name from the Philadelphia Freeway, but Freeway and Rick Ross have had songs together. Not Freeway Ricky Ross. I'm talking about Freeway the rapper from Philadelphia. Common sense say listen to happy music if it's that easy. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like it's a different way. That's why I can't blame any sort of music. Like I said, there's speed metal, death metal that surgeons listen to while they're doing surgery, doing procedures on people. 6 hour, 7 hour surgeries. And they're listening to speed metal. A lot of people don't like speed metal. Oh, speed metal is not, conducive to the listening requirements for people in their minds. I mean, I disagree. I like speed metal. I like math metal. I like death metal. It's a totally different frame. I mean, it really does. It makes you want to do things. It makes you. If you're on like a fitness bike, you're like, I want to push this faster. I want to do more. I want to do higher. I want to go on the next mountain. That's why I think it's a rush for like I said, surgeons and mechanics and people, anybody that's working on a project. If it really focuses your mind. I disagree with a lot of objectivists. Some objectivists say that speed metal and death metal and stuff like that are disadvantageous to the brain, to the mind, to the development. It's not Chopin, it's not Beethoven, it's not Rachmaninoff. I understand that, and that's another thing too. What was that black movie they came out with about the black classical composer Chevalier? How many Chevaliers are there, or how many Chevaliers were there? There's not too many today. I would love to see that. I would love to see 10, 20, 30 black classical, composers with scores and stuff like that, and it heard in halls all over the world, from Japan to from Milan to Brussels to Venice to to Paris, France, to New York, to London. That would be cool. I think that'd be really awesome. But I just wanted to say that as an aside. But we're talking about a lot of things at the same time. We're talking about the music. We're talking about the crack. We're talking about But I'm just trying to keep it on board. I'm gonna make this an hour show. It's gonna be an hour show. But I do appreciate everybody that came through, especially Luana. You have my respect and salute to you. Keep on writing your poems, girl. You're doing your thing. She's like, I found you. That's good. I like that. That's cool. But yeah, so what happened? What was the turning point? It was way before slavery in America, in the United States of America. Way before. Way before. We're talking about hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years before. Because black people did, at one point, rule the world. Nobody wants to talk about that, but that's a fact. Well, who do you think discovered fire? Wasn't a white man. Wasn't a brown man. Wasn't a red man or a yellow man. It was a black man or a black woman. I don't know. They have Lucy. They're just talking about Lucy on the radio. Anybody talking about Lucy? Lucy, the discovery they made. I'm trying to hold on. Art of anthropology. Lucy is a nickname of the 3.2 million year old fossilized skeleton of Australopithecus afarensis, a species of early hominin. In 1974, Donald Johnson and Tom Gray, very white, discovered Lucy's remains in Ethiopia's Afar Triangle. The team named her after the Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds because they were listening to it while celebrating their discovery. Lucy is one of the most complete skeletons of any early hominin ever found, representing 40% of her body. Her discovery proved the existence of a new species, changed how scientists think about human evolution, and sparked worldwide interest in human evolution. So this is all this was a black woman, Lucy. Brav Sports, because you reading books written by white authors. Answer. What are you talking about, Brav? I'm confused. Because of what? Because I'm reading books written. Okay, I can understand what you're saying. Yeah, because if there were black people that were writing the books, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Black people lost everything. Like black people, they lost everything. I agree. It's white man's books. It's white man's schools. It's white man's curriculum. It's white man. They run this. I'm not gonna shy away from saying they like, oh well, blacks, they just get together and they had all the, that sounds cute, but look what happens when they do. You get Tulsa, Oklahoma. You get Greenville. You get Greenwood. Is it Greenwood and Rosewood? I know it's Rosewood, and I think it's Greenville. Okay, Vicky said, or Levon, I call her Lawana. You guys know her as Vicky Tricelli. Brad, I look white, but I am not all white. I read books with all types of skin pigmentation. True. But I can only say about from my education, I did not read any black books for I think I read one novel in like 8th grade. Let the Circle Be Unbroken. Now I think that was a black author. Otherwise, not even close. Not even close. But like Luana is telling the truth. Vicky, I'm gonna say Vicky in here since her name is Vicky. I call her Luana, but she made a good point. She's white, but she's not all white, and she says she reads all types of skin pigmentation because it's not about the skin pigmentation; it's about the quality of the writing. She has a good point. It's all about the quality of the writing, not the color of the skin. It's all about the issue of excellence and the writing itself. But I can't disagree with Breath because it's true. Like the what was it? Houghton Mifflin? Is it Mifflin Houghton? OMG! I thought reading books by all I thought was normal. I thought reading books by all I thought was normal. Yeah, it is normal. It's the right. Like I said, I agree with you. You're of different backgrounds, even though you're phenotypically, as they say, your outside appearance looks like you're white, but in reality, you're of different ethnicities, and you read all kinds of ethnicities. That's proper. That's a good thing to do because you don't base it on their race. You base it on the effects and the quality and the input and the power and the prose that it exhibits. The words have to come off the page. I don't care if they're white, brown, yellow, red. That's it. White, red, yellow, brown, black. Yeah, I think I said them all. White, red, yellow, brown, black. Yeah. Had to make sure. Thank you. Yes, it's the book, not the skin pigmentation. Exactly. That's right. It's all about the brain. It's all about the mind. Who cares about what the skin color is when it comes to the brain? Aren't you biracial? I'm not. I'm multiracial. I have red in me. I have black in me. I have white in me. That's all I know of. I'm not bisexual though. I'm a straight man. I'm a heterosexual man. Grand Theft Auto. Did I say pink? I didn't mean to say pink. That's funny. So I just want to know what happened. What was the turning point? What was the exact moment, or what were the precipitating moments that required the white man to say, "Hey, we run this now," and the Hispanics, "Hey, we run this portion of it now," and the yellow man say, "Hey, we run parts of this now," because the yellow man still runs this. Yeah, we still have issues with China. North Korea's playing around. Japan, well, we we reorganized their whole way of thinking after we dropped 2 atomic bombs on them. But it was more than that because it was the Doolittle raid and it was the different bombings and the fighting in parts of Iwo Jima and stuff like that and stuff like that. So, and in parts of Europe, we dropped bombs on Germany, knocked out millions, thousands, if not tens of thousands of casualties were in the civilian population. Let's not kid ourselves. Wake up. Salute him, Lord. I'm about to get out of here. Make sure you hit my Cash App. I'm about to get out of here. Salute. Everybody comes in when I'm about to get out of here. That's the funniest thing. It's like I have a few people riding with me, and then at the last few minutes, oh snap, you about to get out of here. I gotta give him at least $20. Grand Theft Auto Kingpin. Where did you get the bisexual? Where did that come from? That was really random. I don't understand. That boy got to go meet an escort. No escorts. No, sir. No, sir. Make sure you hit that Cash App. Make sure you hit that Cash App. $20 at least. I'll do $10. Really, I'll do $5, but I'm trying to get as much money as possible, obviously, out here. See, that's what I respect about Vicky. Vicky Tricelli, as you can see her in the room, she's not about that money. She just wants to get her words out. She wants to get her poems out. She wants to get her ideas out. I respect that. However, I have to say, I have to get my money. We have a site that we go to called vocal.media. If you look on my page, if you look on to this particular broadcast, you will see Palanquin, and that's on YouTube on vocal.media. And it's only available on vocal.media. You can check it out. You can read it yourself. I would be very appreciative if you shared it, if you liked it, and all that good stuff. So make sure you definitely check that out. So I appreciate it. But yeah, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious how far we've advanced. They have advanced. Black people have advanced. It's funny how it's like they've advanced in certain circumstances, and in other circumstances they've fallen back. I mean, look at the prison population. It's like the blacks account for 13% of the population, and let me make sure because I'm saying. Make sure right now. About almost 40% of the prison population in the United States is black, despite black people making up only 13% of the U.S. population. And what is that? And why is that? That's because of the DEA. That's because of different programs that were set up to dismantle the black family structure, to dismantle everything like that. I'm not blaming the white man. I'm blaming the laws, because we're not a nation of men. We're a nation of laws. And laws can be bad. There can be bad laws, like the laws that govern drug use and drug manufacturing. Those are bad laws. They should be rescinded. They should be taken back. But I said so much. I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank, first and foremost, everybody give Vicky Tricelli a hand. Thank her for coming in here. Appreciate this woman. They're doing well, sir. They're doing well. Grand Theft Auto Kingpin asked me how's my dad and sister doing. They're doing well. Everything's back to good. My niece and nephew, they're doing well. Everybody's doing well. Wizard King, thank you very much. I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate all of you. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you sometime tomorrow, probably after church. Take care.